Wide receivers.
Let's do it.
CeeDee Lamb, 14 of 17 last game.
Yeah, that's
Are they
good.
done? Is it over for Dallas?
I don't think so.
No. You think there's still some life there?
Yeah, they've got because it's not a talent thing. I, I hope they're done. I'm really not a fan, but uh I'll tell you, CD's not done when you have 31 targets in 2 games. I mean, that's just stupid.
I think I still have to make AJ Brown my number one up here though against this Jags secondary.
God, did
Like,
he kill me last week? But this is why, by the way, the Jags stack is interesting to me because you could have a stack and then get like AJ Brown and CD Lamb as your other two wide receivers.
I know. Yeah. The only thing I just hate about AJ Brown is you're not really getting the massive target share. He's just so good. And Jalen Hurts' deep ball placement has been really good as well. Like you're getting a couple of these huge plays. Those always scare me because if the huge play doesn't materialize, what do you get? But Daniel Jones has been so bad. That offensive line is in trouble. Malik Neighbors, it's really tough to get to Malik Neighbors right now. Like, would you
Yeah, it
rather
is.
play Tyreek Hill or Malik Neighbors now that two is back? I don't even think it's close.
No, I mean, I might have a little closer than you, but no, I'm still with you with
I
Tyreek.
love Malik Neighbors. I was on Malik Neighbors week one of the season.
You
And
certainly were.
a lot of people pushed back, like, oh, he was 5,900. And then week two, it said, play Malik Neighbors everywhere you can. Ladder him up to 100. Malik Neighbors. There we go. And then but I think we've reached a point now where he's up there with some of the most expensive players. They lose Andrew Thomas. The offensive line is struggling. Maybe I should just go, all right, it's been a couple ugly games for Neighbors. This is where you jump back on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to pull up.
I'm conflicted on this, is what I'm saying, Ben.
Um, the problem I have mostly just looking at this, the top guys are in such good spots that the
Yeah.
next range is just crushed because CD Lamb's in an amazing spot. Jamar Chase is an amazing spot. I like AJ Brown quite a bit. So how am I supposed to have room for the next batch? The answer is I won't, most likely.
I think it was you when I was talking about hey, Falcons defense has been great at kind of keeping the ball in front of them, right? Like they allow a lot of receptions, they allow a lot of completions,
Yep.
obviously, but not a ton of, not a ton else. And you're like, listen, that's good and all, but eventually that kind of comes back to bite you. And you did see last week, like 330 passing yards allowed to Baker Mayfield without Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. So you actually do look at this matchup as a positive one for CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, it's fine because as I said last week about this, I start at the base of when I'm thinking about this in the sense that, okay, can they get the ball to my receiver? The answer is yes, 100%. And then it's like, okay, can he run wild after the catch or get over the top? Probably less likely. That's a secondary problem. It doesn't matter. That's whatever. Like, if they can get the ball to these guys, they will figure it out. And I think we just saw CeeDee Lamb's not gonna have any trouble getting the ball. It, they're all in great spots though. I'm gonna build with two of them in lineups.
Is it doable?
Yes, it's definitely doable. Oh,
Which
it's
is
definitely
why,
doable.
again, which is why you'd entertain like a Trevor Lawrence stack.
That's the only way it's really doable. Pay down stack.
Or a Daniel Jones stack, but that's gross because it's
I don't
Malik.
want to do that.
No. Daniel, that pass from Daniel Jones was inexcusable. To
On
the Was it the running back that leaked out? Who I think the running back leaked out, probably Singletary, and just tossed it over his head. They had a real shot to tie that or to
I
score.
was not watching.
Oh, it was horrible, man. It was an inexcusable pass, just terrible. I think
Sounds dumb.
yeah, it was bad. Give me I'm gonna go back to the Tyreek Hill well, despite that poor performance. He's still just too good for that price.
Tyreek disappointed everyone last week. The price is going to continue to climb, so it's almost like, I don't want to say now or never, but yeah, you can just kind of moderately buy Tyreek.
So I'll take him up top.
Okay. I'm going to take. I'll take CD Lamb.
Sure. And I assume, yes, you also like Jamar Chase, AJ Brown.
Quite a bit. Yep.
Yeah. The reason I didn't go to AJ Brown here, I was looking at the mid range, and I think DJ Moore's in a nice spot. DK, Metcalf, Chris Olave, but I worry that they're just not going to throw the ball enough in New Orleans in that spot. Like they might not need to.
New Orleans is a mess.
I actually think this. I was. It's funny. I was watching the Eagles game the other day. I come upstairs to take a piss, and as I'm doing so, I'm thinking, it's so weird how Devonta Smith is just in like DFS pricing purgatory every single week. It's like he's never a good play, he's never a terrible play, but you can never really get there. And DraftKings, and another thing I mean by this is the sites can't really price him down either, because if Devonta Smith gets down to 5,900, everyone's going to play him. If Devonta Smith gets up to like 7,500, no one's ever going to play him. So then he just kind of sits in this mid 6K range every single week where he goes basically unnoticed for the most part. But this might be one of those weeks where at 6,800, I'm willing to play Devonta Smith and I maybe bet on it not being the AJ Brown game and go, if I stack Hurts with Devonta Smith, it gets me to another, maybe like a Jamar Chase or something, or a Tyreek Hill or a CD Lamb. I'm pretty interested in that type of stack this week, because any given week it could be one of AJ Brown or Devonta Smith, and neither of them are going to have any trouble beating up on this Jags secondary.
I don't disagree with any of that, but the problem with Devonta Smith is, even when you get that game, what are you getting? Like last week to me felt like, oh, I mean, what was the predominant play? It was, he caught a 50-yard touchdown. 6 for 85 and a touchdown. That's good, but it's not great. I worry about that a lot. Like,
so do I. But I think it'll be, I honestly think it's going to be a different way to get to Philly. I don't think a lot of people are going to play Devonta Smith.
No, I don't think so either. But I hate playing guys where I'm genuinely like, okay, what is the path? What's the path for Devonta Smith?
Well, against this team, there's plenty of paths.
Is it? Yeah. See, I think that's where we differ. I don't see any paths.
Okay. Like you could have a 6 for 130 game and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, so the path is kind of a home run. 6 for 130 implies that he's going to catch a bomb.
Yeah, or
Again.
take one, or take one,
or take one. Yeah,
yeah.
That's when I think of my paths, the last path for me is home run touchdown. That I think's the worst.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because listen, AJ Brown's going to see more volume week over week. Like his path has been the long touchdown too. They don't,
no doubt, but he's a monster beast. Like
he's a monster, but this is not a team that methodically works the ball downfield. That's what I'm saying. If they're doing that, it's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
like run, deep shot. If they're doing it, it's with Barkley. That's what scares me about both AJ Brown and Devonta.
I get it. It's just I like Devonta Smith, so I'm not like trying to knock him down, but it's hard to pay that price for like an upgraded Shaheed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He's a rich like Pierce.
Nah, I don't see it that. I don't totally see it that way.
I mean, I don't totally see it that way either, but I also don't see him as Drake London.
But
Like,
like 6 for 85 in a score last week. Week 1 when him and Brown were out there, 7 for 84. And this is the best matchup he'll face all season. So like the 6 for 120, 130 and a touch. I don't think it's that far fetched. Either way, we don't. I get what you're saying. I don't even disagree with you.
and I don't disagree. I think that's just the interesting evaluation of a guy like that
Well, I think
because
it's the interesting evaluation of this entire team because all of them are expensive and they have an amazing matchup.
see, that's what I mean. This last thing I'll say, you know, what do you want from Smith? 20 plus points at his price is good. It's very good. Is it great? Is it tournament winning? No, there's no week so far where you're like, that's what I would have
You're
signed
right.
for.
No, you're right. They're also,
That's
again,
freaky.
this is also the best matchup that they've had. That's what I like. This is, if there was ever a spot where it's just blow up potential for this Eagles team, this is the spot. 28-point total this week.
Yeah, listen, there's no denying the matchup.
Where else do you like at the mid range? I'll go Smith there. Let's have some fun. I'll go Devonta Smith there. But you have Drake London. You have
I'm
Brian
going DJ
Thomas.
Moore.
DJ, yeah, I like DJ Moore a lot.
Yeah, he's had two games. He got a little banged up, but it's there. There's no doubt it's there. If you're going to pick on Arizona, 66, 65, that's fine for me.
I like it a lot. DJ Moore is one of the guys I have in there. Metcalf, if he plays. Last question for you. Chris Olave, 6,100. It's just, I hate that offense right now in the passing game. Although sorry, real quick. This would be his first game playing with Derek Carr, where Rashid Shaheed is also out. We might be underselling Chris Olave here. We really might be. He's 6,100, Ben.
Yeah.
Like this might be a 7K spot for Olave, honestly.
I see it.
Jordan, switch me up. Give me Chris Olave there. The more I look at this, the more I'm interested. I don't know, dude. You know, Bo Nix just went out against this Saints team or against this Carolina team and threw for 284 yards with 76% completion percentage and 3 touchdowns through the air. Yeah, Chris Olave, I'm changing. This is why I love this show. Make some pivots in real time. Chris Olave for me, 6,100. That is too cheap. Man, what if Olave's like not as popular and Alvin Kamara is just mega chalk?
That would be good. I'm fine with Olave. I'm not ruling that out at all.
Or just play both of them.
Or play both of them.
Yeah. All right. You're right, Jason Farnsworth. I actually agree. Don't overthink it. Yeah. The only thing is if the field doesn't overthink it and everyone has Olave and he's like 40% owned, then Chris Olave, Derek Carr connection starts to look a whole lot worse. So it's Tuesday. We don't have ownership. Give me a cheap guy here. Can we go to Calvin Ridley?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not going to Calvin Ridley. The time
You
to
know
go to
who
him
I
was
feel like you can't go to right now? Jalen Waddle just hasn't really done anything for 1.5 seasons now.
Yeah, so that's who I was looking at, and it's just not happening.
Like what has happened to him? Even
I
before
don't know.
Tua got hurt.
No, it's just been not good. Who do I want to go with here? I'll tell you who also. All right, so just tell me, what's the deal with Jerry Jeudy?
All right.
Because Tillman obviously exploded.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Did you see the target breakdown for them?
No, I saw Njoku and Tillman do their thing, but Jeudy.
I used our live odds screen, by the way, to bet that Tillman touchdown. We were showing good value on that, which was
Well,
pretty
that's
nice.
useful.
Yeah. It was great value, dude. Bet it at like plus 550. Sick. Anyway, listen to these targets last week. Elijah Moore 11, Tillman 9, Judy 8, David Njoku 6, and then nobody else really got anything. There were 3 guys on that team. Moore, Tillman, and Judy all had 8+ targets. Here's a crazy one for you. Cedric Tillman had 6 red zone targets and 2 touch. 6 red zone targets for Cedric Tillman.
I think Judy's a real interesting play here. I'm going to need ownership.
Any of these guys are interesting as long as Jameis is at quarterback.
Yeah. You're going to need ownership to cooperate. This is also with the caveat, Jacksonville, somebody's going to have to catch the ball. And so if you want to tell me that Parker Washington were somebody's their number 1 receiver and the guy's $3,600, it would be him, but I just don't know who that's going to be right now.
There are some people who'll probably disagree with me on this. I don't really care because they'd be wrong. But this matchup against the Chargers is actually a tougher matchup for Winston than the Ravens.
Yeah, that's not even close. The Ravens are coasting on name recognition where everyone is just like, oh, Baltimore, tough defense, me included. Their defense is garbage.
Their pass defense is absolutely bad right now. Not to mention that they were missing multiple key players from that defense, right? Like Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey. So this week, not as easy of a spot, but Winston is the type of guy that will throw 35 plus 40 times. You're not wrong, man. It's never going to feel good, but if you're still getting cheaper options in the passing game, I'll tell you what, I get where you're going with Judy. I'd rather just go like Tillman at 4,300 because he's still too cheap.
I mean, again, that's where I'm prefacing this. I don't know this, but to me, Tillman's got to be double or triple the ownership of Judy here.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
And I don't think it should be like that.
Judy didn't even have a bad game. Judy had a fine game. He just didn't score twice.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're right about that, then Judy looks really good.
If you ask anybody, you can ask Chad. Go ahead, Chad. Like just Judy or Tillman. I can't imagine anybody is saying Judy.
At $1,000 increase after that game from Tillman.
Yeah, Tillman's cheaper. Tillman just paid everybody off. Like, there's something to that.
You're absolutely right. Again, we don't have ownership, but that's why this show is fun. Judy played 97% of snaps. Tillman played 90. Like those guys are just going to be out there. I think you could go to either of them, but you're right. I don't see Judy being nearly as popular.
He's not going to be.
Is he your guy down here?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So for me, Tyreek Hill, Chris Olave, I think I'm going to go Cortland Sutton right now against that ball.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to throw a ton, and Baltimore's secondary is not good.
That's fair. I mean, Sutton, I know Vele and Javonte were more on the focal point, but Sutton almost got in the end zone late in that game as Sean Payton was trying to run it up too.
He had 100 yards.
Yeah, no, he was fine. That's what I'm saying. He really could have capitalized.
And you're going,
I'm going CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, and Jerry Jeudy.
These are actually fun wide receiver tiers this week.
How does this show, no matter what we talk about, go so long?
I don't know, because it feels like we're actually making decent time.
We're not.
Well, we started at 10:06. It's not that bad.
It's still pretty bad, but go ahead.
Calvin Ridley, I think, is viable. You don't have to like it. I think he's fine.